All right, gentlemen, welcome to our beginning biblical Hebrew second section. We're doing our reading in Ruth. First time we'll be recording this because we haven't been recording our readings, but we had a request, so here we are. We're today in Ruth chapter 3. We're just going to read straight through the chapter and talk about things as they come up. So, of course, if you have any questions or anything that you want to know about, stop me anywhere along the way and we'll address it as best I can. Can't say that I'm perfect, but I got some knowledge under me. All right, so here we go. Chapter 3, we're going to look first at verse 1, of course, because that's where you start when you read a chapter. Here we go. Who wants to take us through verse number 1? We've got Hosea here and Nathan and Jason.
Okay, maybe I'll start. Vatomer la Noomi hamota biti halo abachesh lach manoach. Oh, asher yitav lach. And she said to her, Naomi said to her, Hamota, Kamota. This is my daughter or my daughter-in-law.
Yeah, this is my daughter, yeah. But Hamota is her mother-in-law. That is Naomi, her mother-in-law.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, the atnak. Yeah. Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, my daughter, go. Hello?
No,
it's not hello.
Is asking a question.
Yeah. Not. Is it not? Is it not? Bakash, lach, bakash.
So instead of thinking of this, is it not? Leave it off for now. Leave it off for now and translate the verb and then add it.
Okay. Bakash. I know bakash, but I forgot it. It's not?
It's levakesh, not bakash, but bikesh.
Bikesh. PL.
I forgot the. Generally, to seek for something.
Yeah.
In modern Hebrew, we use it to mean to request or to ask for.
Is it not? I will seek for
Manoach.
Rest.
Rest, and manoach is a place. A place where you rest. A resting place.
Yeah, a resting place. Okay. A resting place which yatav.
What's it look like here?
Yatav. Good?
Yeah.
To make good for you. Good for it will be good for you.
It will be good for you.
Okay,
so now let's deal with this hello.
Is it not?
Means I would seek for you a resting place. This is asking, would I not?
Yes.
This states, would I not seek for you a resting place that will be good for you?
Okay.
And by resting place, she means a home with a husband.
Yeah. Actually, I'm thinking of Samson's father, right? I don't know if that's
Samson's father?
Yeah. Manoah. Is that different?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, verse number 2.
Vata halo Boaz modatanu asher hayit et na'arotav hine hu zore et goren ha-seorim ha-laila. So now modatanu, isn't that something like threshing or something? Modatan. No, isn't he
Moda
doing?
is a close relation.
Oh, right. Isn't he our close relative for like to be a redeemer? Isn't Boaz our close relative who?
I would take that as predicate though. Like you put the relative thing at the end. Like isn't Boaz
Isn't Boaz
blah 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 blah.
right? Okay. Hayith. That's Hayah's third person. What is that? Hayith.
That's second person feminine singular.
Yeah. Second person feminine. Yeah. Who you are? It's Na'arotai. I'm blanking out on Na'arotav.
Nara is a young woman. And Na'arot is the plural. Na'arotav is his.
You are one of his young women. The one of the women who goes around gleaning.
But the word et means with.
Right. You are with his young women. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Looky here. That's what I like to say for Hine. Looky here. Instead of behold. Nobody says behold. Look.
Correct.
He is Zore. That's like a sowing, but they're threshing, right? He's threshing.
Yep, he's threshing.
In the
or winnowing would be a word.
Winnowing in the threshing floor. Goren's a threshing floor. The barley tonight. Halala tonight.
Yep. This actually brings up something that I thought about today that I wanted to bring up with the students in the class. So it's something that I'll bring up, like when I can actually do it beforehand. I'll use this verse as an example. For whatever reason, in English, when you have a relative clause, like what is introduced with a shale, you normally attach whatever prepositions would be inside of the sentence to the relative pronoun. So you say, this is the book in which I found the interesting article. Okay, this is the book in which. You do that with whatever pronoun that you're replacing. In Hebrew, you don't. In Hebrew, you really have generally two completely independent clauses, and they're just joined together with the asher. So in this case, Halo Boaz modatanu asher hait im na'arotav. In English, that na'arotav sounds really weird. So you say, is this not Boaz, our relative, or is Boaz not our relative, who you were with his servants? Like the whole his servants on the end. Instead, we would throw that before the relative pronoun, and we would say, whose servants you were with. You know what I mean? It's something I want to bring up later on in grammar, maybe on a Thursday night, that I'll plan it out and we'll go through it with a few examples. Because it's something that came up in my head earlier, and not from reading this, but from other things.
Yeah, I've always figured English grammar was a little screwy to start with anyway.
Maybe.
Well, like for example, we say, red car. Everybody else says car red. Right? We just have to be different.
I think German is like English. They say it before.
They probably just make one word out of it.
Probably. So this I put together on the left. You'll see the kuf. This stands for keri or keri. It means where the word is not pointed in the biblical text because the vowels are not. The word has a mistake. I guess it's being corrected. Then on the in the margin of the text, they're going to tell you how to read it. Okay. So in this case, v'rachatzt, v'sacht, v'samt, simlotaich. You go to there's a circle on the word to tell you to go to the margin. Simlotaich. It's because the yod is missing. Simlotaich means your dresses or your garments. V'samt simlotayich alayich, you put your garments upon yourself. And what's written in the text here, this is interesting. V'yeradeti hagoren. The Keri says that we're supposed to read v'yeradet, and you will go down. It's very interesting because, okay, here's Ward. Hello. It's very interesting. Ward, I wanted to let you know that we're recording the session. Ward, did you hear?
I barely heard, yes.
Welcome. I just want to let
Sorry,
you know that we're recording the session, just so you're aware.
Okay.
So v'yeradet is the real feminine form, but the older form in Hebrew actually had an E on it. And we saw this tonight, Hosea, when we did the Aramaic with the Pe'al verb, that it has a T ending for the second person feminine. And Hebrew also did. Hebrew did at one point. So when we looked, if we look in our grammar book, let me find where I put my copy. I'm kind of disorganized right now. And it's probably far away. I'll be right back. Yeah. When we talked about object suffixes, personal suffixes that go on the end of a verb to show the person that is receiving the action, one of the odd things that we saw was that the second person feminine singular, becomes T before prefixes, before suffixes. Let's see. Okay, so if you see page 283 in the grammar, and 282, excuse me, 282 says on this one in our grammar book.
Oh, Hebrew, okay.
So 23.3, table 23.3 says it's got the historic form, kitlat, for the feminine third person. And then the feminine second person, it says kitalti. You see that, kitalti? We would think of that as the first common singular ending, that is I. But when it takes suffixes, it looks the same as a second feminine singular. And that's what we have going on here, that we have an older Hebrew form that actually had that T ending for the second feminine. But the Masoretes, when they read the text, said, well, we don't read Hebrew that way. Let's just change the vowels without altering the consonants of the text. Change the vowels to reflect how we pronounce this as v'yeradet, but leave the consonants as they are. Okay, so the consonants stayed, but the vowels are altered. So what we have, v'rachatzt v'sacht v'samt simlotayich alayich v'yeradet hagoren al tivad'i la'ish ad kaloto le'echol v'lishtot. Okay, so wash, you will wash. This is the above consecutive perfect. You will wash. Lilchot, and you will anoint yourself. Lasuch is the verb. Lasuch, vasach, v'samt simlotayich. Samt, lasim, to put. You will put. These are all feminine forms. You will put your dresses or your garments upon you, and you will go down to the threshing floor. Okay, and then she gives our negative command. Do not make yourself known to the man. This is nifal. Okay, it's nifal. Do not make yourself known to the man until he finishes. This is the infinitive construct of lechalot. Okay, kila, until he finishes to eat and to drink. So don't tell the man that you're there until he finishes eating and drinking. Don't let him know who you are or that you're there. Okay. Ward, this is Ruth 3:4, if you want to pick it up.
Vayehi.
It's a little bit different. It looks like Vayehi, but it's actually Vihi. Let me tell you real quick the difference. Vayehi is a narrative past. It's saying, and it happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Joseph, Yehi, let it happen. So Vihi, and let it happen. Okay?
Okay. Vihi b'shachbu v'yadat et makom asher yishkav Shem.
Sham.
Sham.
Mhm.
Sham. Ubat vegolit
Gilit.
gilit mar gilotav, and that one's hard to pronounce since there's no vowels.
Okay, so see the circle on top of it?
Mm-hmm.
This is it's a Masora circle. It's telling you to go to the margin, and then you have Kiri, which tells you to read with these letters. So it's again, it's removing the T ending and replacing it with a regular feminine ending.
Yeah.
Shakav vehu gibor lach
Uya, Uya,
yagir
Yagid,
yagid lach et ashir ta'asim.
Tasin. The noon here is not part of the normal form. Again, just like she's using an old form here, V'shachavti, it's really an old form. Also, the ta'asin is an old form. It's enough without the noon. Ta'asi. Ta'asi means you will do.
I gotta say,
So-
Margalotav is one of my favorite words in this whole book
Why?
because it's cool. It just sounds cool. Margalotav. You can even say it with an
Yeah.
Italian accent; would be cool. It's the place of his speech,
People-
right?
People try to say that it's a euphemism for the private parts, but I don't know. The more I read it, it just looks like it means the place
Yeah.
where his feet are, and she's uncovering his feet because while he's sleeping, she wants him to get cold. You know, so that whenever he's cold, he will roll over and try to get comfortable, and he'll discover that she's there.
Mm.
You know, she didn't do anything inappropriate, like some people try to say. But anyway, Ward, do you want to translate this?
The he said, that's like, behold,
And may it be, and may it happen.
and may it happen. So when he lies down,
You remember from our memory, B'shoch Becha, now we have B'shoch Vo, and he's laying down. Yeah.
he's laying down. Know
Yep.
the place where
Mm-hmm.
he's laying down, where he lays there, and you go and I don't remember Gilit. Uncover.
Yeah.
Uncover.
Legalot.
His feet, and you lie down.
Mm-hmm.
She's supposed to lie down, and he Yagid lach to her. Yagid,
you.
I don't remember.
He
To
will
you.
tell.
Oh, and he will tell to you. Yagid lach to you what you are to do.
He'll tell you what to do. He'll tell you what you should do.
Certainly sounds like it could turn risque, doesn't it?
It's led a lot of people to say that, but I mean, I've read the chapter a few times, you know, thinking about it and getting ready for this, and I don't see it. I tried to see it, and I don't see it.
Yeah, I have to
Here's
say,
another
I had an experience, and I just don't think it happened. His decency as a man is emphasized so many times throughout too, that would really break with that character development.
Yeah, and especially like we'll see that when he turns to her, he calls her my daughter. Like I don't think that there was anything inappropriate going on in his mind. Like he wanted to do everything properly.
That's not the same thing as the way Americans men will say, "Who's your daddy?" That's totally different.
Yeah. This is not the same. I wanted to jump.
I just noticed several. I looked up shakaf, and it said it was also a euphemism for intercourse. Is that just reading that back from the text back into the definition, or is it used that way?
In this verse, it would be reading it into it. It's not. If you said if you said Adam laid with his wife, obviously that's talking about intercourse.
Especially but this is conceived.
Yeah, exactly. The verse that says, "And you shall not lie with a man as one lies with a woman." This uses the same thing. It says, "Ve'et zachar lo tishkav mishkevei isha." It's the same word, and that obviously has a sexual meaning. But here it says, and it will happen when he lies down. That is when he goes to bed. And you will know the place where he is sleeping, where he's lying down. Okay, you will find out. The yadata here, or yadat, means you will find out. And you will find out the place where he's sleeping there, and you will come and uncover his feet. Like, of course he's sleeping. Everybody lays down every day, you know. But and the older you get, the less it entails that. I can feel it. So anyway, it's a nice verse. I just wanted to show again asher that we really do have two independent sentences here. We have, and you will find out the place. That is a complete sentence. And he will sleep there. He will sleep there is also a complete sentence. The there sense to be transferred onto the relative pronoun in English, and it changes to where. Okay, so he will sleep there becomes where he will lie down. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, good. All right. So I think we're back to Hosea. I couldn't get this to have just a Masorah circle with nothing. It came out with this dotted circle. So just know that this means that you're supposed to insert the words into the text. Yeah.
Okay.
The text is missing a word.
Vatomer Eleha Kol Asher Tomri Elai Eeshe. Okay. Eeshe. Okay. And she said to her, all which you said to me, Eli, to me, I will do. Okay. So and I don't see why. Okay. Why should an Eli be inserted there? Okay, sir.
Switch it around so that say is at the beginning of the clause. I will do anything you tell me. I'll do anything you tell me.
All which.
I'll do everything you tell me. Why does it need Eli?
Yes. Because I think it's
everything you
complete.
say, I will do. Everything you say, I will do. Everything you say to me, I will do. I don't know. The Masoretes decided we kind of read with the tradition of the text. It might have been that they had the tradition of saying it right there, and so they just wrote it in because that's what they would say. I'm not sure. It would make sense to me without it too.
Yeah.
Nathan, number 6.
V'tered hagoren v'ta'as kechol asher tzivata Tzivata ha-mota. Let's see. She went down to the threshing floor, and she did as all which her mother-in-law commanded her, or commanded. There's no her on the end of that.
Again, we have an interesting form. Like, it looks like this one would be paused. Like, it looks like it would be in pause. The normal form would have a reduction in the vowel, sivta with shva. But they've given us a long vowel with accent, like it was before the secondary modification that we talked about in class. So there's sivata that became sivta, and that's the normal form. But this is a more ancient form. This happens a lot in this book, that they're giving us forms that are older. So yeah, good. And again, we see another directional verb going down with no preposition on the destination, right? Very cool. I guess it's me, I guess. Vayochal Boaz vayesht, vayitav libo, vayavo lishkav biktzei ha'arima. Arima is a pile, like a pile of, in this case, the pile of barley that they've collected. Vatavo valat, vategal margalotav, vatishkav. So it says that Boaz ate, and he drank, and his heart was good. Like, basically, I guess he became happy, merry. And he came to lie down in the end of the pile, at the end of the pile. I don't know if he was on the end to protect it from thieves or what, but he was at the end of it. And she came. This is the third person. She came, that is Ruth. She came secretly, or quietly, balat. And she uncovered his feet and she lay down. Okay? Ward, number 8. I didn't skip anyone, did I? I feel like I might have skipped someone.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Vayehi bahezi halayla vayechrad.
See, that's the whole idea that he got cold. Vayechrad. This is he was trembling, shaking. It's it's related to the word Haredi. Haredi in ultra-Orthodox Judaism, they're like Quakers. They're shaking.
Haish vayelachet yayelafet vehine isha kevet mara gelotav. And behold, in the middle of the night.
So it's not behold, but it happened.
What happened in the middle of the night? I'll say he trembled. That's not what when I saw it said something more like he touched himself, but he trembled.
Oh no.
The man trembled.
It's that he was trembling.
He was trembling.
If anything else, it could be startled, but yeah, trembling for sure.
The man.
But probably because he was cold. That's the shaking, because he was cold.
Vayelachet. I don't remember this one.
This one is like twisting or whatever. It's like because he was cold, he started turning around, like twisting in his sleep, trying to get comfortable. And I guess he rolled over would be the idea.
Yes. So he was uncomfortable, and behold, there was a woman sleeping at his feet.
Yeah. a woman lying at his feet. So obviously, this is a surprise to him. I don't think that anything happened. I think it's completely unjustified. That this was a completely acceptable situation. Verse 9, I think we're back on Hosea.
Okay. So, Vayomer mi'at vatomer anochi Ruth amatecha ufarasta
Exactly.
kenafecha al amatcha ki Noel ata. Okay. So, and he said, "Who are you?" And she said, "I am Ruth, your your slave girl, your servant woman." And parasta, parasta. Huh. I don't recognize this. Parasta.
Lifos is to spread out or to spread over.
Yeah. Spread kanaf wings, your wings. No. Boss does it up. Wings. Shawl. This is the famous spread your cover or shawl over your servant woman. For Goel. For Goel, sorry, it's not Noel. For Redeemer you are. For you are Redeemer. Kinsman Redeemer. So
she's basically proposing to him.
Yeah.
Yep. She's asking him to take her under his wing, to take her, to make her his charge, his new wife. That's lovely.
Yes.
And Nathan, we're back to you.
V'yomer berucha at la'Adonai biti hetavt chasdech ha'acharon min ha'rishon levilti lechet acharei ha im ashir. Thank you. Go all the way to the end. And he said, bless you, basically, right?
Blessed are you of the
blessed
Lord.
Are you by Adonai in me yasav yatavt. Oh, you've done good to me, right? BT is part of the blessing. Hey tav, you have caused good, or brought good. Chasdech. Your kindness, your loyalty. Acharon.
We're missing a preposition here, so let's say with. You have brought good with your
chesed, your loyalty, your kindness.
With your chesed ha'acharon, that's part of it.
Oh. I just drew a blank on acharon.
It's the opposite of harishon.
Oh, the last?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Last. Oh, yeah. From the first. So
this last
thing is better than the first, basically, right?
Yeah, it's idiomatic. It's basically saying you have brought more good with your latest faithfulness than with your first.
Yeah.
With your latest kindness than with your first. It's saying because she was known to be kind because of how she treated her husband who died in Moab, but now she's being even more kind by the fact that she's turning to him, who's not even he's not the most direct kinsman, and he thinks that she's a wonderful person, and so it's like an amazing offer to him that she's even turning to him at all.
Right, because he's kind of older and he's got to see that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and for what she didn't do, which is the next phrase.
Look, for not going, lechet, that's, is that the participle?
It's the infinitive construct of halach.
Okay, not going after bachurim, the young men.
Yeah.
Dal.
Dal normally means thin, but in this case it's contrasted with ashir. Ashir is someone who has...
Oh, whether poor or rich.
Yeah,
right?
Whether poor or rich. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dal here would be somebody who has no means, and Ashir would be somebody who has a lot of means. So he's saying not only was she, kind in how she treated Naomi and her family, she's also being kind to him in the fact that she didn't go chasing after these young men who worked in the field or for these other rich ones, that she came to him who wasn't even, one of these young men. Like she's showing him kindness.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Ward, verse 11. We only have 18 verses in this chapter. It's really short.
Ve'ata biti al tirei kol asher tumeri e'ese lach ki yodeach kal saar. Oh yeah, the gate. Kal saar ami.
So, kol sha'ar. This is a whole phrase. Kol sha'ar ami. It means in this case it means the whole town, my whole hometown. Like the gate of my people means like the gate in which I live, the town where I live.
Kol sha'ar ami ki aset hail at.
Eshet Chayil is a woman of valor. It's a popular phrase because of I think it's Proverbs 22.
Who can find her?
Yeah, a woman of valor who will find. Yeah, so that's Eshet Chayil. It's a very popular phrase. Okay.
So it's, and now, daughter, do not fear.
Mm-hmm. If it were a man, it would say al tira, but a woman al tiri.
So do not fear all which you have said to me, I will do for you.
Whatever you say, I will do for you.
Okay.
So yes. Sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, she's accepted her proposal.
Because that's Yorah. That's I am a is that the kinsman?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Yorad.
Knowing.
Yodea is knows or knowing.
Oh, Yodea.
But who knows?
This one here obviously is a cultural thing, because everyone in the city, all of my people know that you are a woman of valor.
Yep. I'll do anything for you because everyone knows that you are worthwhile. You're a catch. All right. In this verse, we have one word that is written in the text. It has a Masorah circle, and the Masoretes are telling us that that word should not be in the text. So what they have on the left, what they wrote is, Okay, it has the word im, katuv, or in this case, ktiv, you say in Aramaic. The word im is written velo keri, and not read.
It is written, but not.
Yeah, im is written in the text, but is not read. That's velakeri.
So why is that?
So we're taking that out. Because the word ki-im is an expression that means except or but rather. But in this case, it's inappropriate. It's not what it means.
Okay.
The word im there it shouldn't be.
So is this kind of a commentary on whether or not this actually should be in the text itself?
Yeah, it's just like you have the vowels written into the text. The original text didn't have vowels or spaces. And so the Masoretes divided up the text into words, and they added notation for vocalization for how to pronounce it. And they added accents onto every word to tell you how to sing it and how to interpret it.
But they were saying that im should not even have been in there.
Yeah, that the word im is accidentally written and it doesn't belong in the text.
Okay.
So who was next?
Me?
I think you are.
Okay. So ve'ata ki omnam, okay, ki goel anochi, v'gam yesh goel karov mimeni. Ve'ata ki omnam. And now for indeed that I am a redeemer. In other words, he's saying, yes, it's true that I'm a redeemer. Omnam is indeed or certainly. V'gam, and also yesh goel karov mimeni. There is a redeemer who is closer than I am. Yeah, he's closer than me. So he's saying that whereas he does have the right to marry her according to the law of the kinsman redeemer, he doesn't have the direct right. There's someone that has the right before him. Okay. 13. I think we're back to Hosea.
Okay. Okay. Lini. Halayla vehaya ba va boker im yig alech tov yig al ve'im lo yach pots lega olech okay ug al tik anochi chai Adonai shikvi ad haboker. Okay. Lini. To me, what's lini?
Lini is the verb lalin.
Lalin.
It's imperative.
Stay the night.
Yeah, sleep here tonight.
Sleep
lodge.
here.
It means to lodge.
Lodge.
Or to sleep somewhere.
Okay. Lodge tonight, and in the morning, if I you, if he does not, if he redeems you, good. Yigal. Good. What's yigal? It's still yigal.
Yigal is also he will redeem. So
yeah.
let's say, if he should redeem you, may he redeem well.
Okay. May he redeem well. And if not, if
he doesn't,
if he doesn't
want to.
Okay. If he doesn't want
is a
to,
stative verb for wanting.
okay. If he doesn't want to redeem you, and
okay, so we started with if. We started with if. So this father is going to be then. Okay. If he doesn't want to redeem you,
then I redeem you. Ah, okay. What is this form?
And then anochi is I myself. Then I myself will redeem you.
Okay, I myself will redeem you. Ah, I see. Okay. The living God life.
What does it mean? Hi Adonai.
The Lord lives. Is that right?
He's saying by, I swear by God. I swear by.
Oh.
You know.
I'd say as the Lord lives. Insert the little word there or something, right?
So that's swear an oath. Okay. Kai Adonai.
A lot of cultures back then they would say Chai HaMelech. They would say by the life of the king.
By the life. This is by the life of Adonai.
Chai Adonai sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
but it's weighty, you know. Anyhow. Sleep until the morning.
It's not really sleep, which is
lie down.
Lie down
till the morning.
So on the if he should redeem you thing, in my mind I translated it, if he should redeem you, fine, he will redeem you. You know,
with a bit of bitterness, no?
A little bit of bitterness, but also at least you'll be taken care of, type of thing. But he as we know from what comes, Boaz isn't just letting him know. He's playing the game pretty well.
Yeah. Sir, let me just ask a question about the form of this one. Sorry. Yeah, I know. I thought it was noon. So it's
Uga altich.
Yeah.
That word?
Yeah, I just realized there's no noon there. Okay. So
it's that
yeah, this font is kind of a modification on the handwriting of the Aleppo Codex. I think it's very pretty.
It's funny, I was just looking at the Leningrad Codex today. So
these are the two best texts of the Bible we have.
All right.
So the next verse.
Yeah. Vatishkav margalotav ad haboker vatakam baterem takom baterem yakir ish et re'ehu.
The yakir here means recognize, so it's like before the sun came up.
Right. Vayomer al Yivada, right? Yeah, Yivada. Ki va'a ha isha hagoren. And she lay down at the place of his feet until the morning, and she got up. Before they could recognize, before they could recognize, a man could recognize his friend or his neighbor, whatever. And he said, "Do not." No,
well, in this case, it's a adjussive. It's may it not.
May it not be known that that the woman came to the threshing floor.
Precisely.
Because folks are going to think that he wasn't quite as nice as he was.
Mm-hmm. And especially if someone else has the rights to her as a wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Verse 15, Lord.
But this is what I have a question about.
Mm-hmm.
Yomer Havi. Ma.
You've heard the song like Hava, Nagila, Hava, Hava. Hava means come, like let's do something, come. So in this case, it's feminine. Havi, come to a woman.
Vayomer Havi Hamit Pahat. Hamit Pahat.
Mitpachat.
Asher Alecha.
Alaich.
Alaich. Okay. Va etazi ba.
Ve'echoziva. Ve'echoziva.
Echoziva. Okay, echoziva. Va tomehes. Tomehes.
Vatoches. Vayamad. It looks like it's Vayamod, but I think it's Madad is the word. So it's kind of weird. I would say Vayimdod. Vayimdod. But Vayamod.
Vayamod. Shesh Shorim. Vayashet. Alehi. Aleha. Vayabo Ha'ir. And he said, come. And come or bring, that's a garment, right? Amishtapecha, which is on you. So bring the garment which is on you.
Mm-hmm.
And Ahazi,
Echoziva, hold on to it.
Echoziva, hold on to it. Va.
So the whole phrase there, the Havi Amitpachat Asher Alaich, this is like topicalization. So that garment that you're holding, that you have on you, hold it out. And then it says, and she held it out. Okay, and he measured.
Okay. And he measured six barleys, 6 measures of barley, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And
not 6 grains of barley, right?
Vayashet. I don't remember Vayashet. He put seam.
Mm-hmm. It's not
and
he put lashit.
And he put to her, and he gave it to her, and he went to the city.
Yeah. The alea, Vayashet alea, is kind of ambiguous. I wouldn't know if it's that he put the measure of barley on the garment or if he put it on her. It could be either, because if she's holding the garment and he puts the barley there, she's holding it, it's on her, but it's also on the garment. So, yeah.
This was interesting because I also read a translation and it helped me get through this. And it was the English Standard Version, ESV.
So she went to town, right?
And it says she went into the city.
Mm-hmm.
It says he, and he went to the city.
Yeah, that was my question. So I'm not mistranslating that.
No, it does. It does say he. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, this came up in the class too that we talked about.
Yeah.
That's a real head scratcher.
I think it follows because the next scene, it's about Boaz at the entrance of the city.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But he wanted her to leave before anyone was even able to recognize his neighbor. So that's why a lot of people think it should have been she went to the city. Yeah.
I don't know what to make of it, because it does literally say he went, but maybe they would expect some kind of emendation to say vatavo ha'ir. Maybe the writer or whoever put together the text didn't want vatavo ha'ir, and then immediately the next verse vatavo el hamuta. She went to the city, and she went to her mother-in-law. Like maybe that felt kind of odd to them, so they changed the first one to he went to the city. Like he went to the city and she went to her mother-in-law.
Yeah. You might even use but instead of and for the vav there that starts the next verse, huh?
Maybe. Vatavo el hamuta, vatomer mi at biti. Why do they keep asking who she is? They don't know who she is. Vatagedla et kol asher asa la ha'ish. Oh, is it dark?
Yeah.
Maybe when she knocks on the door of the tent. She's knock, knock, knock. Who are you, my daughter?
Who are you, my daughter? Yeah.
She knocks like a girl, you know?
She went to her mother-in-law and she said, "Who are you, my daughter?" And she told her everything that the man had done to her or for her. And then would be a date of advantage. He had done for her, not to her. Does that sound bad? All right. Number 17. Here again, we add the word Eli.
So it's me again. Vatomer shesh ha. Oh, sorry. Vatomer shesh has orim haele haseorim haele natan li. Ki amar Eli al tavoi reikom. El ha reikam el hamotech. Okay, hamotech. Okay, and she said six measures of barley. Doesn't say what kind of measure did they use. No? It's just 6.
No.
6
and
barley.
These measures of barley.
Give to me. He gave to me.
He gave me.
He gave me. Okay. Because that he said to me, and he said to me, El Tavoy, said to me, do not tavo, do not go, Raycom. Do not come, Raycom. I don't recognize this. Do not come to me.
Empty-handed.
Okay. Do not come empty-handed towards your mother-in-law.
Not necessarily towards her, but to her.
To her.
Towards her means in her direction. You know, it's not her direction's not important, but to her.
To her mother. Okay.
I would think that the word tavoi here, even though al tavoi means don't come, right? It's a negative
don't
command.
live with.
Al tavoi. I think it's adjussive here. That you might not come, or that you should not come.
Okay, you should not.
Like in other words, it's really not appropriate for you to come to your mother-in-law empty-handed.
Yeah.
He knows how to make a good impression too.
Yeah. Starting to ano.
Trying to impress the mother, even though she's not the direct mother. And
finally,
I think this is the last verse. Yes, it is. Nathan, you want to tackle this one?
Yeah. Vatomer Shavi Biti Ad Asher Tedin Ech. What? Ech Yipol Davar Kilo Yishkot Haish Ki Im Kila Hadavar Hayom. And she said, Shvi. It's messing me up here. Wait. She's right. Return? No, shoot. Yeah. No.
No. Shev. Yeshev, Yashav.
Oh, sit? Or,
sit.
Yeah, sit.
Sit down.
Sit with me, right? Sit down with me.
Well, there's no with me here. Maybe she left, but
what's
she's
PT?
just telling you,
Oh, my
down,
daughter. Sit, my daughter. Until which
take the noon off. Ted'i. The imperfect teda. Teda is for the masculine. Teda. Ted'i feminine.
Until you know.
Until you know.
Until you know.
Shvi ad asher ted'in.
Yeah, because the new is helpful with the lack of a sound that begins the next word, right? Basically.
It's just that they use high language in this book for when they're quoting, when they're doing a reported speech, they use high language.
What's ech?
How?
How? That's right. I knew that. I just went blank. Ech yipol davar. How the matter will come out, right? Will turn out.
How it will fall.
Yeah. Because he will not yishkot.
It's really funny, this word yishkot. Today we would say yishtok. Yishkot, yishtok. It's directly related to the word sheket. Sheket.
Yeah, he will not rest. He'll not be quiet.
He won't be quiet. The word is sheket, like quietness.
He's not going to shut up.
For whatever reason, we traded the two sounds around, and now we say yishtok.
That's funny. So the man will not be quiet, ki'im, unless I don't know. Is that a
lechalot, to complete, to finish?
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Unless hadavar, the matter is finished today.
Unless he finishes the matter today. Yeah.
Okay.
He will.
Yeah, because I said it passive. I said it in the passive, so that would not. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, the passive would be kula.
Mm-hmm.
Kula would be pual. And that is the end of Ruth chapter 3. I put here on the end, what's this word, do you know? It looks good in this font on the left. Ketz. What is ketz? Beketz yamim, at the end of days. Ketz, end. Lasim ketz lamashu, to put an end to something. Ketz.
See what you're asking.
So there's probably 50 to 60% chance I will not be joining next week.
Okay.
We're going out of town for a long weekend, and I'll be getting back that day. So just depends on how the afternoon goes.
Okay.
I'd like
well,
to.
I hope we do get to have you here. I think this recording is going to be useful for John, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed the reading. It was very nice.
Well, and the next verse has my absolute favorite word in the whole book, or term, Ploni Almoni. It's just
Ploni
cool.
Almoni, nice. Yeah. It became a standardized expression, and last word for the moment.
Yeah.
He's going to drop back in so we can say goodbye before we go.
Okay.
Either way, I'll go ahead and I'll stop the recording now. And so, hello, all you YouTube people out there. Enjoy your Hebrew learning.
Welcome back.
Whatever.